She has a gay son, and Republican Congressman Sonny Bono has a lesbian daughter, and the former head of the Republican Party also has a lesbian daughter. Okay, here's my plan. We start a rumor that being a right-wing conservative causes homosexuality. Right? Spread the word. Here's the stupidest thing I read. Newt Gingrich, in an interview, compared being gay to being alcoholic. Like, where'd he get this idea? I'm gay. I have never walked into a party and had the host say, "Hi, Bob, can I get you, man?" Now, I'm going to get you the first one. When you're ready for the second, just help yourself. It doesn't work that way. That's only going to encourage gay people in denial. Me, I'm not gay. I'm just a social homosexual. Next, they'll have like little pamphlets with the warning signs of homosexuality. Ask yourself the following questions. Do you ever feel you need to be gay in order to have a good time? Have you ever been gay when you're alone? Come on, we've all done that. Have there ever been times when you can't remember being gay the night before? Those gay blackouts do happen, come on. That's that old idea that homosexuality is an illness just reformulated for the 90s. Next, they'll suggest we need some sort of 12-step program. Hi, I'm Bob. I'm gay. It got so bad for me, I would start being gay first thing in the morning and then be gay all day long. And I do a lot of traveling. I was actually in South Carolina, and a state representative there tried to pass a law banning gay men and lesbians from adopting children because he thinks gay households are the breeding grounds for future homosexuals. Okay, I'm only going to explain this once. Heterosexuals are the breeding grounds for future homosexuals. Like, that's hard to follow. People get so upset about gay parents. Come on, we all know there might be some advantages. You know, if you had two gay fathers, you'd always have the best Halloween costume on the block. That would be really scary, an 8-year-old dressed as Betty Davis. Give them all the candy. Now, I was raised Roman Catholic, and according to the Catholic Church, it's okay to be homosexual as long as you don't practice homosexuality, which is interesting because I think it's okay to be Catholic as long as you don't practice Catholicism. I don't see what the big deal is. One of the priests in our parish was gay, Father Mary Louise. He was a man of the cloth, taffeta. And he always tried to make you feel comfortable during confession. Then what happened? You're kidding, stop. Wait a minute, before you go on, I'm going to get a drink. You want one? Well, then go in peace. Your sins, some of which are remarkable, are forgiven. And for your penance, watch the 10 Commandments 3 times. Wasn't Aunt Baxter terrible? You guys are great. I don't get why the Catholic Church is so homophobic. You know, Michelangelo designed the Vatican. And of course Michelangelo was gay. Only a gay man would spend 4 years painting one room. Right? Yeah. Yeah. And we started the Renaissance. It was probably 2 gay men talking during a party. Wouldn't it be fun to do religious paintings of hot, muscular, naked guys? And sell them to churches? Oh, that would be a hoot. You know what my favorite Bible story is? Definitely Samson and Delilah. Who can't identify with getting one bad haircut and feeling like your whole world's collapsing? And I live in LA now, but I lived in New York for 11 years, and, you know, they had the right-wing fundamentalists on the streets in New York. One of them shouts at me, "Are you ready for Judgment Day?" I said, "No, I have so much shopping to do." It's like, get a life. Now, I have been in a relationship for 8 years with a guy named Tom, and we moved in together about 6 years ago. And, right away, I knew Tom was a marvelous interior decorator because back then we lived in a studio apartment in Greenwich Village. And Tom, using mirrors, made it look like 12 rooms on Central Park West. When the sun came in, our sofa went up in flames. Please, we have track lighting in our refrigerator. And Tom is so into Martha Stewart. I'm sorry, there should be a 7-day waiting period to buy a glue gun. I'm over her. And Tom and I are becoming more militant. We want the same rights as straight couples to hold hands and make a public display of affection, even if we do avoid intimacy in the privacy of our own home. It's been 8 years, come on. And there has been a lot of good news, though. The IKEA Furniture Company did the first national TV commercial to feature a gay couple. It was 2 gay men picking out a dining room table. Is that possible in 60 seconds? It should be a mini-series. I've lived through that. And, gay marriages have been in the news, and Tom and I, we thought about that, Actually, we went to our very first gay marriage last year, and it was our friends Sharon and Patty. But I did think the invitation was a little too politically correct. It came on this George O'Keeffe card, and it said, Sharon Bartlett and Patty Marks want to invite you on this piece of recycled paper to their handicapped accessible, signed for the hearing impaired commitment ceremony in an Indian sweat lodge on April 19th. A joyous, lactose-intolerant, sugar-free, vegetarian, in-recovery reception will immediately follow. The wedding cake was made out of lentils for those who are allergic to wheat. All right. I love them dearly, but I keep telling them there's a fine line between holistic and assholistic. People... I'm over being politically correct. Now drag queens want to be called people of hair color. I'm not going to do that. It's ridiculous. And Tom, you know what? He's a little annoying because we live in LA now, and he's so into the self-help books. He read one called Do What You Love and the Money Will Follow. I don't think that idea holds up. How many people make a living from masturbation and watching TV? I can't wait for my mother's self-help book. Quit picking at it or your life will never heal. I was actually in Ann Arbor, Michigan. This was the coolest thing. The local newspaper in Ann Arbor prints gay and lesbian wedding announcements. How cool is that? Yeah. And there are newspapers now in Kansas and Minnesota that do this. I can't wait until newspapers all over America start doing this. Mr. and Mrs. Stephen Douglas have reluctantly announced the engagement of their son Timothy to Mark Feldman, the son of the stunned Dr. and Mrs. Saul Feldman. A May commitment ceremony is planned with an awkward reception to immediately follow. At the parents' request, there will be an open bar during the ceremony. Thank you. Now, we've got the marriage issue, and the next issue is, about teaching about homosexuality in schools, because a lot of school boards are really upset about this around the country. But, we all know gay teenagers need information. So I've been thinking about it, and I thought, what's a way liberals and conservatives could agree upon? And you know what? I thought, how they could do it? Gay math problems. So I want to try, So I want to try out a couple of them on you. If you think they're good, we'll send them to school boards around the country. Margaret came out to her parents as a lesbian in 1978. Her parents made her see a psychiatrist for 40 weeks at $65 a visit. How many Melissa Etheridge albums? Might Margaret have bought with the money they could have saved? I think that's very reasonable. All right. This one's kind of a gay math science problem. Light travels at the speed of 186,000 miles per second. Unflattering light seems to travel twice as fast. Estimate how long a gay man would work in an office lit by fluorescence.